The Galactic Integration Academy floated high above a huge gas giant planet. The station was very big, with long halls, bright lights, and rooms full of strange machines. Here, young cadets from many different worlds came to learn and train together. It was the first time so many species tried to live and study side by side in peace. Humans were new to this place. Earth had joined the galactic community only a few years ago. In old stories, other species called humans Deathworlders, because Earth was a hard and dangerous planet. Many aliens still felt nervous around humans. They thought humans were too strong, too quick to fight, and too strange. Cadet Lisa Harper stepped out of the shuttle with her group. She was 22 years old, from a small town in Ohio. Her dark hair was tied in a tight ponytail. She wore the simple gray uniform of a first-year cadet. Her brown eyes looked around with calm interest. She did not seem scared, even though this was her first day at the big academy. Behind her came 3 other human cadets. John Miller was tall and quiet, always watching everything. Brian Hayes had a friendly smile and liked to make jokes. Karen Lee was small but very smart, and she carried a data pad everywhere. They walked close together, feeling the eyes of many aliens on them. The corridors were busy. Tall insect-like cadets clicked their legs as they moved. Scaled reptilian cadets hissed softly to each other. Feathered avians flapped their wings lightly when they talked. Everyone stared at the humans, some with open fear, some with simple curiosity. Their first class was Xenobiology Practical. This meant learning about living things from other planets. The teacher was Vexor, a calm cephalopod alien with many long arms and large black eyes. Vexor spoke in a smooth, slow voice through a translator box. Today we observe young animals. You must stay quiet and follow rules. No touching, no loud sounds. These creatures can be dangerous, even when small. The class walked into the containment wing. This area had strong glass walls and special airlocks. Behind the glass were different enclosures. Some had plants and water. Some had rocks and sand. In one large enclosure stood a Carex cub from the planet Varnak Prime. The cub was small, about the size of a big house cat on Earth. Its fur was shiny black. Its eyes were bright gold. It had sharp claws that could go in and out, and small teeth like little saws. Carex were top hunters on their world. Even babies could be fierce. The adults were big and scary, but this one was still young and full of energy. The cub walked back and forth inside the glass. It looked bored. Sometimes it jumped at the wall and scratched with its claws. Other times it growled low in its throat. The sound was deep and rough, like a small engine starting. Vexor pointed with one arm. This is a juvenile Carex. On Varnak Prime they hunt in packs. Play is how they learn to fight and survive. A growl can mean many things: hunger, anger, or just fun. But never answer a Carex growl unless you know the rules. Wrong answer, and play becomes real attack. The cadets stood in a half circle, looking through the glass. The herbivore cadets, ones who ate only plants, stayed far back. Their bodies shook a little. They knew Carex hunted things like them in the wild. Even the reptilian cadets looked careful. Lisa stayed closer than the others. She watched the cub with soft eyes. Back home, she had a dog named Max and 2 cats. She knew animals got restless when they had no one to play with. The cub's growls sounded just like Max when he wanted to wrestle. "Hey, little one," Lisa said quietly. "You look like you want to run and jump." The cub heard her voice. It stopped walking. Its golden eyes locked on her. For a moment, it was still. Then it lowered its head, ears forward. It opened its mouth and let out a low growl. The sound rolled out like thunder in a small body. It was not mad. It was a test. In Carex talk, this growl said, "Play with me, or are you weak?" The growl was loud enough to echo in the room. Every cadet froze. John took a quick step back. Brian's smile disappeared. Karen held her datapad tight against her chest. The herbivore cadets made small, scared noises and moved even farther away. Vexor raised 2 arms in warning. "Stay calm," Vexor said. "Do not answer. Do not move fast. The cub is testing." The cub pressed its front paws against the glass. It growled again, louder this time. Its tiny fangs showed. Its tail flicked fast from side to side. It wanted a response. It wanted someone to play the game. The whole room went quiet. Fear hung in the air like thick smoke. No one knew what would happen next. The Carex cub stared straight at Lisa. It waited. Lisa did not step back. She did not look scared. She looked right into the golden eyes. Then she took a slow breath, opened her mouth, and growled back. Her growl was deep and rough. It came from her chest, strong and clear. It sounded almost the same as the cub's growl. Not perfect, but close enough. Then right after the growl, she laughed. It was a bright, happy laugh, full of fun. The sound cut through the fear like a knife through paper. Everyone stared at her. The cadets, the teacher, even the cub. The growl from Lisa's throat hung in the air for a second. It was not loud like a shout, but deep and strong, the way the cub had growled first. Then came her laugh, clear, warm, and full of real joy. It bounced off the walls of the containment wing like a happy bell. Every cadet in the room stood frozen. John Miller's mouth opened a little, but no words came out. Brian Hayes blinked fast, like he could not believe his eyes. Karen Lee gripped her datapad so tight, her knuckles turned white. The herbivore cadets huddled closer together. Their big eyes were wide with shock. Even Vexor, the calm teacher with all the arms, stopped moving. One of his tentacles twitched in surprise. The Carex cub stared at Lisa through the thick glass. Its golden eyes grew bigger. Its ears flicked once, then twice. For a long moment, nothing happened. The whole room held its breath. Then the cub did something no one expected. It dropped to the floor and rolled over onto its back. All 4 paws went up in the air. Its belly showed soft and open. No claws out, no teeth bared. This was the biggest sign a Carex could give. It meant trust. It meant, I play with you. You are safe. You are pack. A low, rumbling purr started in its chest. The sound grew louder until it filled the enclosure like a small motor running happy. Gasps came from all sides. One feathered avian cadet let out a high squeak. A reptilian cadet hissed in disbelief. John whispered, "She just made it submit?" Brian shook his head slowly. "Not submit. Look at it. That's not fear. That's happy." Karen stared at her datapad, then at Lisa. The purr frequency matches pack bonding levels in the Carex data files. This is real. Vexor moved closer, his black eyes fixed on the scene. His translator box spoke in a quiet, careful tone. "Cadet Harper, what you did should not be possible. Human throats are not built for Carex subharmonics. Yet you match the tone almost exactly." And the laughter, Carex see joyful sound as a sign of safe play. You have triggered a full bonding response. Lisa stayed crouched by the glass. She looked at the cub with soft eyes. The little predator twisted happily on its back, paws waving like it wanted belly rubs. She put her hand flat against the barrier. The cub rolled closer and pressed its furry head right against the same spot on the other side. Its purr grew even louder. Its tail curled and flicked in slow, content circles. "You just wanted a friend, didn't you?" Lisa said softly. She smiled wide. "Not everything has to be a fight. Sometimes it's just fun." She scratched gently on the glass, right where the cub's head rested. The cub closed its eyes halfway and pushed harder against her hand through the barrier. It looked completely relaxed now, like a kitten getting pets after a long day. The other cadets started to move again, but slowly. They came closer in small steps. No one wanted to break the moment. Vexor spoke again. This is unprecedented. In all recorded interactions between Carex juveniles and non-Carex species, no outsider has ever received this level of trust so fast. The cub sees Cadet Harper as pack now. This changes many things. Lisa turned her head a little to look at her squad. Come see, he's not scary. He's just bored and lonely. John took the first step forward. He stopped a meter away from the glass. The cub opened one eye, looked at him, then went back to purring against Lisa's hand. John let out a shaky breath. Okay, that's kind of amazing. Brian grinned, his fear melting away. You growled like a pro, Lisa. Where did you learn that? Lisa shrugged. I didn't learn it. I just listened. Animals talk with sounds and body. The growl was an invitation. I answered the same way. Then I laughed so he knew it was play, not a real fight. She held out her data pad to show a quick scan. The cub's stress levels dropped to almost 0 after your laugh. Heart rate normal, adrenaline gone. It's like you spoke its language. The herbivore cadets watched from farther back. One of them, a tall, four-legged creature with soft brown fur, spoke in a trembling voice. Humans are death worlders. We thought they only fought. But this is different. Another avian cadet fluffed her feathers. She turned a predator into a friend in seconds. Vexor waved a few arms to get everyone's attention. Class will continue, but we must record this. Cadet Harper, please stay near the enclosure for observation. The rest of you, move to the next station slowly. No sudden moves. As the group started to shift, Lisa stayed right where she was. She talked to the cub in a low, calm voice. Sometimes she growled softly again, just a short rumble. Each time, the cub answered with a happy chirp or a louder purr. Once, it batted playfully at the glass with one paw, like it wanted to wrestle. Lisa laughed again and mimicked the paw swipe on her side. The cub rolled in delight. The containment wing felt different now. The heavy fear from before was gone. In its place came quiet wonder. Aliens who once crossed the hall to avoid humans now glanced over with new eyes. They saw not just a death worlder, but someone who could speak to a killer species in its own way. Lisa did not notice the stares much. She was busy with the cub. She told it stories about earth dogs and cats. She told it how Max used to chase his tail in circles until he fell over. The cub listened, head tilted, purring the whole time. Vexor came to stand beside her. You have opened a door we did not know existed, the teacher said. Carex do not bond easily outside their kind. This cub has chosen you. The staff will need to discuss what happens next. Lisa looked up. What happens next is simple. He needs playtime and friends. That's all. The teacher paused. Perhaps humans understand predators better than we thought. Lisa smiled. Maybe we just understand being lonely when no one wants to play. The cub yawned, showing all its tiny sharp teeth, then curled up against the glass near her hand. Its golden eyes half closed in trust. The purr never stopped. Outside the enclosure, the class moved on to other animals. But many eyes kept coming back to Lisa and the small black predator. Something big had started here. Something no one in the academy expected. A human had growled at a Carex cub in play, and the cub had answered with trust. The frozen fear was gone. In its place grew something warm and new. The news moved fast through the Galactic Integration Academy. By the next morning, every cadet knew what happened in the containment wing. Whispers filled the mess hall and the training corridors. A human cadet had growled at a Carex cub. The cub had rolled over in trust. Then it purred like the human was its mother. Aliens who never spoke to humans before now pointed when Lisa walked by. Lisa tried to act normal. She ate breakfast with her squad like always. John, Brian, and Karen sat close. They kept looking at her with big smiles. "You are famous now," Brian said. He pushed a tray of protein paste toward her. "Everyone is talking about the girl who tamed a Cadets with a laugh." Lisa rolled her eyes. "I did not tame anything. I just played with him. He was bored. That's all." Karen looked up from her datapad. The staff already made a report. They named the cub Razor because of his sharp teeth. They moved him to a bigger play area this morning. It has grass, rocks, and climbing bars. They want to see if he stays calm around other cadets. John leaned in. "Are you going to visit him?" Lisa nodded. "Of course, he needs friends. I signed up for extra observation shifts. Anyone can come if they want." After classes, the 4 humans went to the new enclosure. It was twice as big as the old one. Fake sunlight came from panels in the ceiling. Green plants grew in patches. A small stream ran through one corner. Razor paced near the front glass. When he saw Lisa, his ears went up. He ran straight to the barrier and pressed his body against it. His tail flicked fast. A loud purr started right away. Lisa crouched down. "Hey, Razor, miss me already?" The cub chirped and batted at the glass. Lisa laughed and scratched where his head was. Razor pushed harder, like he wanted real pets. John, Brian, and Karen stood a little back at first. Then John stepped closer. "Can I try?" Lisa nodded. "Just stay calm. Growl soft if you want to say hello. Or just talk nice." John took a breath. He made a low rumble in his throat. Not as good as Lisa's, but close. Razor looked at him. His ears flicked. Then he purred louder and rubbed his cheek on the glass near John's hand. Brian grinned. "My turn." He copied the growl. Razor answered with a happy chirp and rolled onto his back again. Brian laughed out loud. "This is crazy. He likes us." Karen was last. She was nervous, but she tried a small growl. Razor tilted his head, then came over and purred right at her feet through the glass. Karen's face lit up. "He's so soft-looking up close." Other cadets started to gather outside the enclosure. At first they watched from far away. Then a few came closer. A tall, feathered avian named Lyra stepped forward. She had bright blue feathers and big round eyes. "Is it safe?" Lyra asked in a soft voice. Lisa looked up. "Yes, he is in a good mood. Just do not bang on the glass or move fast." Lyra came nearer. Razor looked at her. He did not growl. He just watched with curious eyes. Lyra made a small cooing sound, the way her people talk to young ones. Razor's tail flicked once. Then he went back to playing with a ball Lisa had tossed in earlier. More cadets joined. A reptilian cadet named Torv hissed a greeting. Razor answered with a short chirp. A small herbivore cadet with soft fur watched from behind others. He looked scared, but stayed. Vexor arrived with 2 other teachers. They carried scanners and datapads. Vexor watched for a long time. "This is new behavior," Vexor said. "Cadets do not trust outsiders. Yet this one accepts multiple humans and even allows other species near without threat." Lisa stood up. "He just needs to know no one wants to hurt him. Play and trust go together for him." One teacher, a tall insectoid named Krell, clicked his mandibles. "We will add this to the lessons. Humans show that Death World social rules can build bridges. Growls can mean welcome. Laughter can mean safety." Words spread even more. In the evening lecture hall, Vexor changed the class plan. He showed a hollow recording of Lisa's first growl and laugh. Then he showed Razor rolling over. The whole room went quiet. When the clip ended, many cadets clapped their hands, tentacles, or wings. After class, cadets came up to Lisa in the halls. Some just nodded. Others asked questions. A small herbivore cadet stopped her. I was afraid of humans before. You made the Cadets happy. Maybe humans are not all scary. Lisa smiled. We are not. We like friends too, and fun. Razor's play area became busy. Cadets signed up for safe observation times. Lisa went every day. She brought simple toys, balls, strings, soft blocks. Razor learned fast. He fetched the ball when she threw it. He chased the string like a cat on earth. Sometimes he growled in play, and Lisa growled back. Then both laughed, or purred, in joy. Her squad helped more each day. John threw toys high so Razor could jump. Brian made funny faces through the glass, and Razor copied them. Karen recorded everything on her datapad. She made notes about Karek's body language, how ears forward meant interest, how tail high meant happy. One day, a group of herbivore cadets asked to join. They were nervous. Lisa talked to them first. Stay calm. Talk soft. No fast moves. Razor will watch you. If he purrs, he likes you. If he growls low and slow, give him space. The herbivores tried. One by one, they spoke gentle words. Razor watched. Then he walked over and sat near the glass. He did not growl. He just purred. The herbivores relaxed. One even laughed when Razor batted at a toy. Lisa watched it all with a quiet smile. She did not think she was special. She just treated Razor like any young animal that needed play. But the Academy saw something bigger. Humans could connect where others could not. They could turn fear into trust. Vexor called Lisa to his office one afternoon. We are updating the xenobiology books, Vexor said. There will be a new section, Deathworlder Social Cues, from Threat to Alliance. Your name will be in it, and Razor's picture. Lisa laughed. I just wanted him to have fun. Vexor tilted his head. Sometimes the smallest acts change the biggest views. Outside, Razor waited by the glass. When Lisa came back, he jumped up and down. His purr filled the air. Lisa crouched and growled softly. Razor answered right away. The Academy felt warmer now. Aliens looked at humans with less fear, more curiosity, more hope. And in the play area, a small black predator and a human cadet played like old friends. Growls turned to purrs. Fear turned to laughter. Days turned into weeks at the Galactic Integration Academy. The story of Lisa and Razor spread like light through the station. Cadets from every corner talked about it during meals, in study rooms, and even in quiet sleep pods. The small black Carex cub had become a bridge between worlds that once stayed far apart. The staff decided to make the play area open for supervised visits. Any cadet could sign up for short sessions. Rules were strict. No sudden moves, no loud voices, always an instructor nearby. But the biggest rule was simple. Treat Razor with respect, like a friend, not a wild thing. Lisa went every day after her classes. She arrived first and left last. Razor waited by the glass each time. His golden eyes lit up when he saw her. He would run in circles, tail high, purring so loud it vibrated the floor. Lisa always started the same way. She crouched low, growled softly in greeting, then laughed when he answered with happy chirps. Other cadets joined slowly at first. John came often. He learned to throw the ball just right so Razor could leap high and catch it in his mouth. Razor brought it back every time and dropped it at John's feet through a small delivery slot. John smiled more than he used to. This little guy makes training feel easy, he said one day. Brian liked to play chase games. He ran along the outside of the enclosure while Razor dashed inside parallel to him. When Brian stopped suddenly, Razor skidded to a halt and growled in fun. Brian growled back, then both laughed, or purred, in the same rhythm. Brian told everyone, "He's smarter than half my classmates." Karen brought her sketches. She drew Razor in different poses, jumping, sleeping, playing. She showed the pictures to him through the glass. Razor tilted his head and pawed at the datapad like he understood. Karen started a small collection of Carex behavior notes. She shared them with the class. Soon, other cadets asked to see her work. Aliens who once feared humans now came closer. Lyra, the blue-feathered avian, visited almost every day. At first, she only watched from the side. Then she tried talking to Razor in her soft coos. Razor listened. One day he pressed his head to the glass near her and purred. Lyra's feathers fluffed in joy. "He likes my voice," she said. "I thought predators only liked growls." Torv, the reptilian cadet, was more careful. He moved slow and kept his tail still. He hissed gentle greetings. Razor watched him for many minutes before coming close. When he finally did, he rubbed his cheek on the glass. Torv's scales rippled in surprise and happiness. "I never thought a Carex would trust me," he told his friends later. Even the small herbivore cadets found courage. A group of 4 soft-furred ones came together. They stood in a tight line, whispering to each other. Lisa saw them and walked over. "It's okay," she said. "Razor knows the difference between play and danger now. Just talk to him nice." The herbivores tried. They made small, calm sounds. Razor came over and sat. He looked at them with calm eyes. No growl, just a steady purr. One herbivore laughed nervously. Razor's ears flicked forward. Then he rolled onto his back and showed his belly. The herbivores gasped, then smiled wide. They stayed longer than planned. Vexor watched all this from the observation deck. He wrote reports every evening. The Academy Council read them with interest. One senior teacher said, "Humans bring something we missed. They see play as strength, not weakness. They turn hunters into allies." The curriculum changed because of Razor and Lisa. A new class started called Interspecies Bonding Basics. Vexor taught it. He used hollow clips of Lisa's first meeting with Razor. He showed how a growl could mean welcome, how laughter could build trust. Cadets practiced simple sounds in safe rooms. Some humans helped teach the lessons. They showed how body language worked on Earth animals and how it matched some alien ones. Lisa never acted proud. When cadets thanked her, she just shrugged. Razor did most of the work. He decided to trust us. I just listened. But deep down, she felt happy. She saw the change in the halls. Aliens who once walked on the other side now said hello. Some even sat with humans at meals. Conversations started small, about classes, food, home planets. Then they grew. Cadets shared stories. They laughed together. One quiet afternoon, a big test came. During a station drill, the lights dimmed for emergency practice. Alarms sounded soft. Everyone had to move to safe zones. In the rush, someone left a service door open near Razor's enclosure. The cub slipped out. Panic started fast. His claws clicked on the metal floor. He growled loud when cadets got too close in fear. Herbivores screamed and ran. Reptilians backed into walls. Avians flew up to high beams. Lisa was in a nearby hall with her squad. She heard the growls. She knew that sound. It was not anger. It was fear and confusion. She stepped into the corridor. "Razor," she called. The cub skidded around a corner. His eyes were wide. His fur stood up. He saw Lisa and froze. Lisa crouched low. She growled soft, the same greeting growl from their first day. Then she laughed gently. "Hey, troublemaker. Come here. It's okay." Razor's ears went forward. His tail stopped lashing. He took one step, then another. Lisa patted her thigh like she called a dog on earth. Razor bounded forward. He pressed against her leg and purred loud. His body shook a little from the scare. Cadets watched in silence. No one moved. Lisa scratched behind Razor's ears. "Good boy. Let's get you back." She walked slow through the halls. Razor stayed right at her side. He looked up at her often. When other cadets came near, he growled low, but Lisa said easy, and he stopped. She led him straight to the enclosure. The staff had the door ready. Razor went in without fight. He turned and pressed his head to the closing glass, purring at Lisa. The drill ended. The station returned to normal. But the story of Lisa walking the lost cub back spread even faster. Cadets who saw it told others. She calmed him like it was nothing. He followed her like pack. That night, Vexor called a special meeting. The council decided something big. Razor would stay at the academy. He would be Lisa's official companion animal. A first for any non-Terex species. It showed the galaxy that trust could grow between different worlds. Lisa sat by the enclosure late that night. Razor slept curled near the glass. His purr was soft and steady. She whispered, "You changed a lot here, little guy." Razor opened one eye and purred louder. The academy felt different now. Fear faded more each day. In its place came respect and hope. Humans were not just survivors anymore. They were the ones who could growl back, laugh, and make friends out of predators. Months passed at the Galactic Integration Academy. The station felt alive in a new way. Cadets from all species walked the halls together more often. They shared tables in the mess hall. They studied in mixed groups. Laughter came easier, fear came less, and at the center of it all was Razor, now bigger and stronger, walking beside Lisa Harper like he belonged there. The Academy Council made it official. Razor was no longer just a study animal. He was Lisa's companion. A special harness with a small light went around his neck. It let staff know he was allowed in public areas. Razor wore it proudly. His black fur shone under the lights. His golden eyes followed Lisa everywhere. Lisa took him on walks every morning. They moved through the wide corridors. Razor stayed close to her leg. When cadets passed, he looked up at them. If they spoke soft or nodded, he purred. If someone moved too fast, he growled low. Lisa always said, "Easy, Razor," and he stopped right away. Most cadets learned fast. They greeted him calm and kind. Her squad joined the walks often. John carried a small bag of treats, dried meat strips made for Terex. Razor sat perfect when John held one up. Then he took it gentle with his teeth. Brian played tug with a soft rope toy. Razor pulled hard, growling in fun. Brian laughed and pulled back. Karen walked behind with her datapad. She noted how Razor's tail moved when he was happy. She said it helped her understand other predator species too. One day, during a big academy event, something special happened. The station held an Interspecies Day celebration. Cadets showed what they learned. There were displays of art, music, and science from many worlds. In the main hall, a large open space had been set up for demonstrations. Vexor asked Lisa to show Razor's bonding. "It is the best example we have," he said. "Show how trust grows between different kinds." Lisa agreed. She felt a little nervous, but mostly proud. On the day, the hall filled with cadets. Hundreds sat in rows. Aliens of every shape and color watched. Some herbivore cadets still looked a bit worried. Others leaned forward with interest. Lisa walked into the center with Razor at her heel. The lights dimmed a little. A soft spotlight followed them. Razor looked around. His ears flicked, but he stayed calm, because Lisa was there. She crouched down. "Ready, buddy?" she asked quiet. Razor purred and bumped her hand with his head. Lisa stood up straight. She spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. Razor and I met when he was small and bored. He growled at me to play. I growled back. Then I laughed. That was the start. She looked at the crowd. Growls can mean different things. They can mean fight, or they can mean fun. Laughter can mean safe. Razor taught me that. I taught him that humans can be friends. She gave a signal. Razor sat perfect. Then he rolled onto his back. Belly up. Paws in the air. The hall went quiet. Then soft gasps came. Many cadets remembered the first story. Seeing it live made it real. Lisa laughed bright and clear. Razor answered with a deep purr. Then he jumped up and ran in a happy circle around her legs. Lisa tossed a ball. Razor chased it fast. He caught it and brought it back, dropped it at her feet. The crowd started to clap. Hands, tentacles, wings, claws. The sound grew loud. Then Lisa did something new. She looked at the cadets. Anyone want to try a greeting? A few stepped forward. Lyra came first. She cooed soft. Razor walked over slow. He pressed his head to her leg, through the open space. Lyra's feathers shook with joy. Torv came next. He hissed gentle. Razor rubbed against him. The herbivore cadets watched wide-eyed. One brave one stepped up. Razor purred at him. The cadets smiled big. More cadets joined. They formed a loose circle. Each one greeted Razor in their own way. Razor answered calm. He did not growl once in anger. He played gentle. He let them touch his fur if they asked Lisa first. Vexor spoke from the side. This is what we hoped for when we built this academy. Different worlds, different ways. But trust can grow. Humans showed us how. The celebration ended with music from many planets. Cadets danced in their own styles. Razor stayed near Lisa. He watched everything with curious eyes. When the lights came up, he yawned big and leaned against her leg. That night, Lisa sat by a big window that looked out at the gas giant. Stars and swirling clouds moved slow outside. Razor curled up in her lap. His purr was steady and warm. John, Brian, and Karen joined her. They sat quiet for a while. You changed everything, John said soft. Lisa shook her head. Razor did. He decided to trust. I just said yes. Brian grinned. Still, we went from everyone scared of us to everyone wanting to say hi. That's big. The council is talking about more companion programs. Other predator cubs. Maybe even for non-humans to try. Lisa looked down at Razor. His eyes were half closed. He started it all with one growl and one laugh. Razor lifted his head. He looked at her. Then he made a soft growl, playful, happy. Lisa growled back. Then she laughed. Razor purred louder and nuzzled her hand. Outside, the galaxy turned slow. Planets spun. Stars burned. But inside the academy, something small and strong had grown. A predator from a death world and a human from Earth had shown that growls could build instead of break, that fear could turn to friendship, that laughter could cross any distance. Cadets from all species now walked taller. They talked more. They listened better. They remembered the story of the day a cub growled in play. Everyone froze, but one human growled back and laughed. And the galaxy became a little less lonely, a little more alive, because trust, once started, spreads like light in the dark. Razor yawned again. Lisa scratched behind his ears. Good night, troublemaker. He purred one last time and closed his eyes. The station lights dimmed for night cycle, but the warmth stayed, in halls and hearts, in growls and laughter, in one small black cub and the human who answered his call.